Eddie Inzauto, Editor-in-Chief of GamerNode.com here, and I'm here with a review of the AVerMedia Game Capture HD, an external video capture device for those gamers looking to record their game footage in high-definition video. Comes in a pretty flashy box. Let's take a look at it. One thing that this device is special for is that it does not need a PC in order to operate. Now let's take a look at what comes in the box. First you have the device itself. You have a set of cables. These are component cables. You have your component video and your standard audio components. And this cable then will connect to any of your Xbox 360, your Wii, and your PlayStation 3, or your PlayStation 2 for that matter. Comes with a AC adapter and a separate plug. And then you have your component cables to go from the device to the TV, and your audio cables to go from the device to the TV. Taking a look at the device itself, it's very small, it's very portable, it's very light. It actually weighs less than 1 pound. On the front, there's a USB port, which you'll use to connect your external storage like a thumb drive or an external hard drive. The front also has a dedicated record button, a power button, and an infrared sensor for the included remote, and it does come with batteries. On the back, you have two banks of component inputs and outputs. You have your out to TV and in from your game device. And then you also have the plug for an AC adapter. Now, about this USB port in the front. This is a USB 2.0, it's not 3.0, but it still does allow you to connect any thumb drive, any external hard drive, which is super convenient. It lets you be very portable if you want to take this thing with you. And even more so if you get yourself a 2.5-inch serial ATA hard drive. These can be either a 9.5mm or a 12.5mm, and they fit right in there, which is great. When you have that in there, close it up, and this is the whole thing. You know, you just have one box, and you record your video, and you take it to your computer later. You don't need to have your computer with you. Everything's done for you. To get started recording, you simply take the included cables, you hook them up to your console, whichever one it may be. You connect your component cables to the back here, and then you use the included component and audio cables to connect to your TV. Now this has pass-through gameplay, so you can play and record all in real time without any worry that the game will slow down. And while playing, you'll have your handy-dandy remote control that I forgot to mention earlier, which lets you control every aspect of what you're doing. There's of course a power button and a mode button, which allows for two modes of recording. There's real-time mode, which is for smooth gameplay, and standard mode, which gives you all the on-screen display that you'll need, like a menu, information, a lot of stuff that I'll get into a little bit later. Looking at this remote, we have a record button, an instant snapshot button. You have all of your playback functions, a few quality, disk information, delete buttons, and some function buttons. The remote operates on two AAA batteries, which come included with the device, and it's really useful. I found myself using it a lot while playing. There's also the record button and the power button on the front of the device itself. So if you want to just hit the record button, you can do it one click and you record to your hard drive. Very simple. I think that's the main idea here, is simplicity. Which of course brings us to the more technical aspects of the AVerMedia Game Capture HD. It supports output resolutions of 480i, 480p, 576i/p, 720p, and 1080i. It does not do 1080p. And all of those output in AVI format using an H.264 compression codec with MP3 audio. Not the best for some video editors, but most will find it just fine to convert, or just use Adobe like I do. And speaking of video, why don't we get into looking at some video and some of the on-screen components of the AVerMedia in action. Okay, so there are a few things you can do with the Game Capture HD. It comes in two modes. One is real-time mode, which gives you smoother gameplay but limits the number of functions that are available to you while recording. Then you can switch over to standard mode, which gives you full function and a full on-screen display. So for example, when you take a snapshot, it'll show in that top right corner, and the same thing when you record a video. You have a counter and how many minutes are available to you. And then if you want to stop that, it'll pause for a little bit, and then you'll get a quick recap of the video you just took, right there up on the top. Now, if you like, you can go back and recall that with the recall button that they just mentioned on the on-screen display, but we're not going to do that. There's also a menu, which gives you a list here. You can check on your recordings and snapshots. This is my external hard drive. You can go through and check out your videos. Then there's file management, which shows you both the internal device and the external device, and you can go over into partition 1 and do the same thing. Then we have a bunch of settings from your language, date and time, format, power management. There's an auto off and a fast boot. I haven't tested the fast boot because the thing boots up pretty quickly as is. You can change your video quality. Right now we have optimal, which I assume is better than good, and it is. And then there's maximum recording length. I'm going to keep mine on optimal, and then we're going to go back. Same thing with image quality, best, better, and normal. We're just going to keep it at best, and we're going to go back twice. And then there's another disk management where you can set your storage destinations, so you can have the Game Capture HD record to the specific space on your disk that you want. And then you can get disk information, and here we'll see that my USB disk is a 250 gig hard drive, and I don't have as much free space as I would like. And you can upgrade your firmware by connecting a USB device when AVerMedia has an upgrade available, and then you press a button and it upgrades. We won't restore to factory default, but we can check product information. So it shows your firmware version. And that's the menu. We can close the menu, and then it's as simple as playing the game and recording it. And I'll get you some footage right now. While we go ahead and watch some of this footage, I just want to note a few things. During my use of the Game Capture HD, all the recordings came out really nicely. Photos, on the other hand, the snapshots, when taken of moving images, they would come out a little bit blurry. If they were taken of a still image, if I was just static on the screen, it would be crystal clear. Now that becomes a moot point if you're already recording, because the Game Capture HD allows you to record snapshots during playback, so you can go through, pause where you like, and take that snapshot. The video, like I said, is excellent, although when I recorded in 480p, I had some trouble playing it back later. However, if you're getting an HD Game Capture device, I think you're probably going to be recording in HD, and for that it did work very, very well. And again, the main selling point of AVerMedia's Game Capture HD is the fact that you don't have to be tethered to your PC. So if that's what you're going for, there's really nothing else that I know of that is going to do that with the HD recording capability. It retails for $149.99. You can find it on Amazon now for $139.99. And if game video capture is what you're looking to do, then I would wholeheartedly recommend the AVerMedia Game Capture HD. I think it's a great value, and it does exactly what you want it to do.